seen once we get cranked up here. The reason I wanted to talk in person about this, or just touch base face to face, is that people, when they look at the syllabus or they've heard about the class from before, what I think what you hear is you're going to write 32 pages and blah, 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 which sounds really insane and cumbersome.
Mhm.
I think maybe you think it's a good time, but I don't. So what I did with the class, this particular class, is and I did it in the old days, like 2017, when it was really the 32 pages, and we approached it differently. You did 5-6 pages at a time. We were in a classroom, we critiqued it like you would workshop anything, and then move on, and then the next time we would meet. I don't think it's ever been a class that met on a regular basis. Even when it was on campus, it was like you met twice a month or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my advisor told me like to take it this semester, but she didn't really tell me much about like what it was going to be.
Okay, you've seen the syllabus, right?
Yeah, I glanced over it. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to pull that up and share the screen so I can break it down for you, and the way that we're actually going to do this, so that it isn't as cumbersome as it seems. I'm sure it seems. So let me get to my Wayne State page in this class. Everything's going my way right now. Have you had any classes, Ariana, at the in other online classes this term through Wayne State?
Yes, I have, like, for this one for the semester that just started, I
Yeah.
have 2. And then last semester I had 3. I only had 1 in person last semester, and she actually cut it short and had us finish out like basically everything after Thanksgiving. She just had us do online too.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is, this semester, and I don't know if it's true for you, but I had my first online class, my first online English class yesterday, and the Zoom through Wayne State they couldn't hear me. That's why I got nervous when we were trying to connect. They couldn't hear me. I couldn't hear them. And then someone mentioned, so I went to my own Zoom, which we're using right now. And so we went to my Zoom, and everyone got in, and we just had to make sure everybody had the right address and all that stuff. But when we did, people said, yeah, the other classes I've had this week have had problems with Zoom. So have yours? Or are they not synchronous?
No, I have 2 of them that are. My first one, I'm taking management of HR. We had a lot of people in it. And so I think it was more so just like it being like everyone having like a problem, just like everyone coming on at once. But other than that, I think just like some people have bad connections because like their own internet at their house.
Yeah.
But not, I had more issues last semester than I do so far this semester.
See, yeah. I didn't have, well, the year before, I didn't have really many issues other than showing some video live or things like that seemed a little bad, but
we did have a lot of issues. I took Spanish last semester, and my professor had a really hard time showing videos for some reason. They like would not work. Like the audio wouldn't connect over to Zoom.
Yeah, that became, well, you have to click a certain button for that.
Yeah.
We figured that out, but
she wasn't the most tech savvy though, so maybe that was it too.
Well, do I look like I am? I have a teaching assistant that helps me in my other classes. Well, I was going to invite her today, but I didn't want to wear her out. So you can see what's on the screen right now.
Yes.
Right. So we'll go to the syllabus first and just show it. I'll do this version of it. This is like the real version of it. So here's all the basic information. This is all, part of what this part has always been their motive and stuff like that. These are the learning objectives for it. There isn't really any course material other than things I'll be posting and showing you, or I'm already probably doing some of it. This is the normal crap from that Wayne State about plagiarism. Got to say it. You know, it's like a court of law. Now this here is not quite, this is from the, just to show you, I'll change this. This is from when we did it in 2017. Remember I said we do,
Yeah.
but that's out the window for a lot of reasons. Since 2017, I've taught several Wayne State or English department research papers, and they've got a really, I think, great system for it. And I've had fun doing it. And I think the students enjoyed it too. So I've really kind of brought that over, and maybe that's what I left up on the screen here. Let me get rid of this for a minute. I may have changed it on here so you could see it. Well, I changed some things anyway. Yeah, here's the points and everything. I thought I put the point system in here, but I will. It's the Wayne State, you know, 94 to 100 is an A or whatever.
Yeah.
It's their system.
Okay.
And that's how we do it. And so this is how I broke it down. And I have samples, and I'll use samples if I didn't put them up yet from last semester, because some people, you know, they did really great work with it. I mean, everybody did pretty good. Nobody failed or anything like that. But some did. The first part is a research proposal, and this is all kind of part of the way the English department does, because they require 30 pages too. And you know, you can't write a 30-page research paper when you're an undergraduate. You know, I mean, it's probably hard when you're a graduate student. So that idea is out the window. So here's the point breakdown. So first, you're going to do a research proposal. And I have some things up here I'll show you in the files that have, or in the assignment itself, I think, that show you how to do a research proposal, how to think about what you want to do related to your field, which I assume is ELR. Is that right?
Yes.
So you just kick this around, and I'm giving you plenty of time in between stuff. But just kick that around and see what, maybe you already know what you want to do. I don't know. Do you?
No, not yet. I wanted to like get a basis with you before I started thinking about it.
Okay. So, and what I'm going to show you in a minute, there's ways it's telling you things. You want to just kind of come up with something that's interesting to you, that is part of, I mean, you must be towards the end of your ELR experience, are you not?
Yes, I'm going to be graduating, and I should have been graduating in the spring, but they added on one class I have to take that's not offered till the fall.
Okay, and you know, now that you told me that you were in the class last semester, the 450, 4500. Some of the students that I had in the fall were also there, and they went with sort of things related to ELR, you know, like employee labor relations, but they also tied it to some of the historical stuff that we looked at on film and all that.
Okay.
So it wasn't a straight ELR paper. It might have been, you know, let's just say a history of the IWW or something like that.
Okay.
I mean, others did stuff, supply chain, whatever, you know, like what they've been learning. But I noticed some went the other way, and that's fine. I mean, this is like a Malcolm X thing by any means necessary.
All right.
We'll get to it. So that's the first part. Then you do this annotated bibliography. That's another few pages, and all this is accumulating these pages, as you'll see. Have you done an annotated bibliography before?
Yes.
Okay, so you know, once you figure out what you're going to do for your subject, then you want to go to the library page and find some sources out there, and maybe peg some of what looks best. It's always an investigation, and it's always, you know, sometimes you come up empty, see something, oh man, this looks really like a great article. You read it, it's not so good. It doesn't help you. But anyway, so I'm going to ask you to put together an annotated bibliography, and then, you know, I grade it and make comments on it and that sort of thing. And then the biggest part of the class then is to take this, and I have a roadmap I'll show you, which helps, I think, to organize this. We do this. I don't know how many pages this can come out anywhere between 10 double space pages with MLA. Have you used MLA before? You
Yes.
might. Okay. So we're going to use MLA. I have a video on that that I'll probably post, or we can even talk since there's just two of us. We can talk through each of these things if we want to,
Okay.
if there's time for it. And then there's the reflection essay at the end. That's just like a what have I learned about my subject, about writing the paper, et cetera, et cetera. This is the general schedule. There's really no dates other than the dates that you turn stuff in. Other than that, this really should just be week 1, week 2. I mean, these dates,
Okay.
they may not apply. You may not have time for that or the other thing. So let's go to the assignments then, because I think I put samples of these. So here's the research proposal. Yeah. So these are all topics that you can scan, look at. You don't have to read them intensely necessarily.
None of this is posted. I don't think you have it unlocked on our page, because I was looking through it, and
okay,
no, I think the only thing that you have up right now is just the syllabus.
Oh, that's horrible. Okay, hold on. Let me get rid of this stuff here. Let me close this back up and see what if there's you're right. But the course was published, right?
Yes.
All right. Now is it? Can you see it now?
Let me check.
Try it. Oh wait, it still has a eye on it. You see it now or you don't? Oh wait, it says not visible to the students.
Yeah, the only thing I can see is announcements and the syllabus.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you this, and then I'm going to figure out, because I'm clicking on that eyeball and it's not telling me, I'm not seeing a thing where I can do anything more with this to make it visible to you.
That's okay for now.
Yeah. So, well, I'll go back to this. So click on, and when you see this,
Okay.
oh, I see. Maybe this is where we do it.
Let me check now. All right, now I can see these.
You can?
Yes.
Okay, let me go back to the assignment. Yeah, well, maybe that's how. So you see this?
Yes, under the assignments.
Yeah,
The
so
only thing I think I still can't see is just like the files tab, but I'm pretty sure that those are all probably just the same thing.
oh, okay. But you can see them on mine, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this isn't anything you turn in. This is all for, the way I look at this kind of thing for folks like yourself, you're all big people. You know what's happening, and if you don't, ask me.
Mhm.
I don't expect you to know stuff, but this isn't a turn-in thing. This is for you, just to kind of, what is your topic? What would you like to research? This is totally, you scribble some things down or you type them in if you can. Do a background reading. This is just a little sheet to kind of get you going. I'm really big on these maps. I don't know if we used them in your class or not, but I in normal classes where we're together, I have this program I use, and it's basically a brainstorming thing like this. And that's what this is an example of, and so on and so forth. So again, this is for you. What I'll want to see is, to give you a grade for will be the actual assignment. And here is some information. And I put excellent guide, so it must be better than your average. Guideline to writing. Again, they give you some direction, some different processes. Okay. And then let's see, I have samples. This one is, oh, this is from one of my English research paper classes where they come in. I don't know if, did you have to take 3010 at some
I
point?
did.
All right.
I did, because that's what I was going to say. This whole system that you're talking about is very similar, just like building on top of each other.
Yeah, I just left out some of the other stuff that I do in that class because, and I suggested, one of the things I always do in mine, I don't know if you did it in yours, was an interview. But the other thing I did in mine that is different than most people, unless you, well, no, it is different than most people, is they were to pick something in their major. They were to connect it to Detroit, and they were in some way to connect it to the arts. Now, of course, on the first day, they all flip out about that because they're pre-med and, they're all different majors and, supply chain management and stuff like that. But once they get into it, one, it helps lengthen the paper that they're required to do, but also it turned them on to a lot of cool things, a lot of cool ideas. So this is one about the impact of music therapy on autistic children. This might have been a psych major or something, I can't remember. But this is just the proposal. And you can see in the proposal, right, this particular one, and I'm not saying yours has to be like this long, but this person did 8 pages, and then the works cited the pieces that she used. I think it was she used for the initial articles that she used.
Right.
Were here. So, and you can see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's an example. It looks like it's all together 10 pages, but it's really like 7 to 7.25, something like that. This one here is just some information from the 3010 textbook on writing and you may have seen that, or you may still have that book, but yeah. I just Xeroxed it and put it up here for people. This is an excellent start, a sample of an excellent start. This must be the same person. Let's see. Oh, what this is, and this is another thing I should really have up, but this is a, what they call, what do they call this in research? The, not the preface, but the summary of what the paper is about. And it goes at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what this is. And the student here wrote 4 pages. So this is like the first part of her paper, Okay. This is like section 1, the abstract, it's called. Okay. This is the abstract, blah, blah, blah. So that goes in the paper. And of course, ultimately the sources that she has will be mixed into the whole paper. So then there's the annotated bibliography, a good guide for it. You seem to understand that. This is a little bit extensive. The research proposal, 7 to 10 pages. That's what most people do. It's, I mean, if you were to turn in 6, you're not failing or anything. These are just to give you a feel. Okay. Then there's this, and I believe, this is from a textbook from somewhere. But this talks just a little, there's a little video on how to do an annotated bibliography. And then, so you do that and you turn that in, and now you've got another section done. I'll put some samples up there because we had some good ones last term. And then back to this, then the research paper, long research paper. There are samples in the files that I think you can't see right now. Okay. Unless this goes up. Let me see if I have the roadmap here. Roadmap is just a thing I've been using for years when students have to write research papers. I'm a kind of person, I need to see things, even though I'm a poet and a creative writer. I still have a brain that needs to organize things, you know?
Okay.
So here's how this a long paper is. In fact, you can see the abstract, and that may not have been, but the abstract in the paper is usually a page or so. Then that kicks it off. Then you can use these areas if you want. Many students do, like they'll say basic history of supply chain or something,
Okay.
or basic history of labor relations. And then, 3 to 5 pages, 3 to 5 pages, double space, break down and discuss aspects of it, discussion of the impact and the connections of your topic upon the US or the world. And then you have a little conclusion, and then your works cited sheet is usually there. So in the end, and I'm giving you some ideas here, but in the end, it just comes out to something like this, usually longer because they're breaking it into these areas. And you might, as you'll see in sample papers, I think students sometimes use these headings, history of employment labor relations, discussion of employment labor, and that
Okay.
gives them a little thing. And I'll show you in the sample papers. That gives them a little sense, I think, of direction as well. Now, if I open the files here, you can see them, but on my screen, right?
Right.
Okay. So, and then I tell you how many, try to get this many books. You don't have to read all the books. Best thing to do with books is you go to the index and see what's relevant to what you're trying to look up. This is a good proposal here. There's some proposals and stuff. I should try to switch these over and put them in the assignments too. Good example of research proposal. I just want to show you how to prepare an annotated bibliography. And you'll see on mine a lot of things that are for the other class, the English class. I just transferred it over.
Okay.
Here's a sample. I'll put this in the assignment too. This is a sample of the proposal with some of my comments off to the side so people can see that. So go back to this interview. The PowerPoint we used to do in person. I don't know if we need to do that, but that can count as extra pages too, actually. There's a way to do that. Samples. Oh, wow, this is that whole. We did a class paper in 1020 where everybody wrote a section of it, and then they put this PowerPoint together.
Okay.
Annotated.
So it's just the big 3 sections, and then by the end of the semester, they'll all be put together.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. You don't put the annotated bibliography in unless you want to. That seems like a lot of work at the works cited point.
Okay.
Usually it's just the proper MLA style listings, and I can help with that.
Okay.
Research proposal, excellent guide. Wow, I'm not finding any of these things. Research paper handout. Let me just see what this is. Well, I'm glad there's only 2 of you in the class. Oh, here's something you probably saw in the other class too, because the library put this together for me. If you go to the library page, I don't know if you look under Liebler or you look under Introduction to Labor Studies, this just comes up with some library sources, places to find stuff. All right, so what I'm going to do right now, because I really want to show you, would this be it? All right, here are some. Now I'll connect these two. So here's the some ideas that we came up with before for the research paper, and then another roadmap there. I think we did do these in 2,500. Also, all right, I'm just going to flip back to last semester because I can show you direct. Winter. And again, I'll find these all and this is the one from fall. I'll put all these in the right thing. So here's like for them, the assignments that they had to do. And I don't know if I did any transferring here. No, I did, but it's not the paper. So so we go here. So this is a sample. It wasn't my favorite. I liked the guy, but it wasn't my favorite. So let me find some other folks here. Oh, okay. Ruby's good. Have you had Ruby in any classes? Ruby
I have, and her sister.
Oh, June, is June in that too?
I think it's Ruby and I think like something with it, like Lily, I think.
Oh, okay. It's a different.
Or Lucy. Lucy.
Oh, okay.
I had them both in my psychology of the workplace class.
Oh.
And then the intro to ELR, I had them because I had Frank. God, I forgot his last name.
Oh, yeah, Frank. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so you've had the chance to enjoy Frank.
I did. I had him. We had a class. It was like really late at night in the basement of Manugian, and
oh, I remember him doing that. Yeah.
In the middle of the winter, and it was just. It was right when the pandemic started. It was a really weird class.
Yeah. No, I know. I love Frank too. He plays piano with my musicians, so in my band. So anyway, Ruby, and I'll make sure this is up there. This is like a really, I think, good paper. And Ruby was a good writer. So you see here, she converts it to hers. What she wanted to do research on was, Black women in labor. I think that was her general topic.
Okay.
So, so she broke it down that way, and you can see, and these are some of my comments on here that you might look at, so you don't make the same mistakes as Ruby.
Okay.
All you need to, and I'll do an MLA one, but all you need for this is, in this case, if there's no page number, you just need the author's last name. You don't, this is like APA.
Okay.
Where you throw in the date. You don't need that. So I being very anal here, went through and lined out her dates. You don't use a period between you don't use the date. So if that was a page number, you don't use a period or a comma, you just put the page number there.
Okay.
But here you go. You see long quotes, it shows you that how to do them. You would anything over 4 or 5 lines, you block quote it, you set it off in a block. And that's what I'm saying to her there. And the paper goes on, and there she is doing her other title or other section, the efforts of Black women. And you can make up your own titles. They don't have to be what's in that roadmap. And I think you convert it to what works for you.
All right.
Okay, a few comments. Newspapers are italicized. So I don't know, let's see, that looks like it's 12 pages. And then she has her regular works cited that she did do correctly. And that's it. So it's 14 pages. So that's a good sample of the kind of paper. And I'll put a few of those up there so you can see them.
So that's the research paper.
That's the actual thing that you turn in at the end.
Okay.
So my point with that is, you can see that you've done so many different pages before that, what you do 14 here, you've easily done, another 8 to 15 of the proposal, the annotated bibliography, and so on. So you complete it. And my main point with that is see it like that instead of, oh my God, I've got a 30-page paper to write. Because
So we don't have to put the first two into this final one.
No, the
Okay.
first, the proposal, no. What you'll want to do is you can use
Like turn the proposal into the abstract.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And because then you'll have a better handle on what you're actually finding with your topic.
Okay.
And you may be getting ideas for a topic right now.
Right.
Matter of fact. So, and it's wide open. I mean, of course, if you want to come in and write a paper on the history of circuses, unless you want to get into employee relationships at circuses, but it's like you can't write a paper on the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. You know what I mean? It's not that kind of a paper. It's more tailored to whatever your interest in ELR is.
Okay.
So what I'll do when we're done here is I will upload, like I did in the first one, I'll upload samples to the, I think there are some in the research proposal, but I'll add samples to the annotated bibs that I think are good, that I got. I'll put some of these up, and then I'll put the reflection paper and some handouts with that too. Make sense?
Yep.
And anytime you want me and want to chat like this, just, email me and tell me what your times are. I'm pretty open. Wednesdays are crazy. Today turned out being crazy. I got to go pick my dog up who's getting its hair cut. I think that's who was calling. But generally, if it's not Wednesday, any other day or weekend, I'm fine.
Yeah, I work at night, so during the daytime,
Oh,
anytime
perfect.
during the week. Yeah.
Perfect. That's what I like about Frank. He's around during the day to rehearse. So
Yeah. No, he's definitely the most entertaining professor I've ever had. He had me on Facebook when the class was done.
Yeah, he's unique.
Yes, yeah, that's a great word.
Yeah, he's had some health issues. He's doing well, but
yeah, he wasn't feeling too well at the end of our semester, but I think he shot us an email like after the semester had ended, because our class was only, by the end of the semester, we only had like 4 people in it, so we all became like pretty close. And he sent us an email just saying like he was feeling better and just wishing us well for like.
Well, he had major surgery, but I think, having that surgery and that problem, he started looking at life a little differently too, because he can be a little snarky or cynical, as you know.
Yeah.
He's still that. I don't want to take that away from him.
Oh, no.
But he's sort of like, he's kind of realized his mortality like we all do. And to take it a little easier in life than pushing himself to do stuff. So that's good. That's good.
Yeah, for sure
We've been working. The only thing, and I'm going to try something with him today online. He's got some kind of program that we can do things live online. We'll see.
Okay.
But we've done some shows already since before the Omicron came out.
Okay.
Yeah, we did stuff at the Jazz Cafe and all that. So anyway, that's too much information for you. So where are you working at?
My family owns a restaurant bar in Wyandotte, and they do karaoke and stuff on the weekends. So it fits with my class schedule that I work like Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights, and I like work the karaoke and everything like that.
Okay.
So just long hours, but.
Is that where you live down in Wyandotte?
I actually live in Groseal.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah, so I grew up there, I live there, so it's not too bad of a commute to school or anything like that. I just hop on 75 and I'm there in like 20 minutes. So
yeah, I used to record in the studio in Wyandotte way back in the 80s. But when I was a kid, my grandparents, they brought me up, would take me to Groseal for saltwater taffy. And it was a big water wheel. Is that still there?
There used to be a thing there called, it might be like where the water well used to be, but they knocked it down. It used to
Mm.
be like the biggest spring water well like
Yeah,
in the
right.
country. Yeah, they tore it down a few years ago, unfortunately. My friend's parents live like right by there, and they like built like this giant like log cabin you see out of like a magazine there.
You mean
But
to live in, or is
yeah.
this?
Yep.
Yeah, that was historic, man. They made from
Yeah, it was.
that spring water, they made taffy, the little twisted up,
Yeah.
and it was so unique and different. Of course, it took we're from like St. Clair Shores, where I'm at now, although it looks like I'm standing in front of the English department building. And that was, back then there weren't freeways everywhere, so it was quite a little drive to get to Grosse Ile.
Yeah.
But that
It was
seems really interesting.
yeah, it was really cool. I'm kind of sad that they tore it down, but
I mean, it looked cool, or they were still making the candy when you were
I don't know if
little?
they were making the candy, but just like the history behind it
Mm.
and just like the whole point of it. I mean, growing up, it just kind of was like the weld and like patch of grass. There wasn't much
Mm.
around it.
Mhm.
But we have like a historical society on the island.
Oh,
And like
cool.
growing up, our school like made it a point for us to like learn a lot about the island since there's like hardly anyone who lives. I mean, there are people who live there, but like going to school, my graduating class was like less than 100 people.
And it was on that
So
island?
yeah,
Just, oh, wow.
yep. So my graduating class is only like 80 people, and so
Mm.
we got to like learn a lot about like the guys who like found the island and how like there's like Indians and how there's a lot of like historical places on the island that you can visit and everything like
Yeah.
that.
Wow, cool. All right.
Small, but
Well,
it's a lot of stuff.
I'll let you. Is your place? What kind of food is your restaurant? Did you say?
It's a lot of, we do fish for Lent, and then we do like burgers, just like bar food.
Okay. That sounds good. Fish is too healthy for me, I think.
Oh, it's deep fried fish. No,
But
it's not healthy.
oh, good. All right.
Big-
Well, this will be posted under our Zoom recordings for further reference, and I will, as soon as I'm done here and pick my dog up, I will make sure that these document samples are under each assignment, so you can click. It's one-stop shopping type of thing.
Okay.
And anything you need, just you can email me. You can questions. You can ask for a Zoom meeting. That's fine.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay. Well, thank you,
All
Ariana.
right.
I
Well, thank
appreciate it.
you.
Okay.
Bye.
Talk to you. Bye.
Bye.